to another episode of The Man Space. Kunle and I are always delighted and truly moved to week after week bring a different gentlemen from different parts of the world so that we showcase them, their life journey, their impact, and also talk about their pain points and how we as a community can support men in their journey of life and in their transformation. We see around the world there are so many support systems and groups to empower women and support women, which is needed and which is necessary to do. And we are doing it even in this podcast family of programs we do. We have a Women Investing in Women program. But equally important is as we empower our daughters, we need to empower our sons so that they become emotionally and financially resilient, so that they can be empowered, strong partners to our daughters, so that together we can build a better world. It is not about making one gender stronger than the other. It's making both stronger so that the entire system is stable, the system is valuable, and the system is based on respect and trust and joy, right? We're all meant to live together, and I am so honored to be able to bring our special guest today. Uh, Francis is joining us from Nigeria, somebody I serendipitously met. And he is not only a experienced business professional who brings his craft and the importance of doing his craft with authenticity and professionalism to earn the trust and a loyal following in his field. He's also a father to four girls. To me, that's the fascinating part. How do you remain a strong professional male at the same time be sensitive and gentle enough to raise daughters and teach them what it is to have a good man in your life, and what does the good man treat you like, so that you set boundaries for the girls so that they know good and bad as they grow up. So it is truly my honor and privilege. Francis, welcome to the Man Space.
Thank you, Dr. Cass. Thank you, Kunle. I'm privileged to be here. You see, raising daughters is something awesome. As a professional, I make sure that I pass every importance, every experience, every understanding that I have to my daughters. I have them four. And you see, sometimes people like to align and think the male folks who do better all the time. But I set a standard and I show role models to them. And they are quite close to me. They see all I do as a salesperson with peculiar interest in customer service. They follow every bit of everything I do. And I make sure that I pull out females that are doing well all around the world. Like when I come across videos, I come across enterprising females that are doing well. I talk about them. I play videos for them to see. I played your video, the one you had an interview with a host of Business Power Hour, Deb Craig. And they've been fascinated. And every time they talk about how women can get better, can do better. But one thing I will not forget, sometimes I think that that's the basic inspiration I had, because I grew up in the midst of women. I happened to be the only male child in my home. And nobody taught me. I had to develop the feeling of how to look after them. I think probably it became a part of me. And that, importantly, gave me the niche of wanting to care and serve people. So when I got into the sales industry with peculiar interest in customer service, I took a niche to make sure that I solve problems. The empathetic part of it. Once you show empathy, they always want to come tell you their problems. And you see, In the globe generally, female need attention. And it happens to be that I now have them. I have 4 of them. So I take my time. Everything that I see that they can learn from, I put it across them. And they appreciate it a lot. They appreciate it so much. And it's been an uplift for them. You know, like your video I talked about, some they even have the links on their system. So sometimes they play and just listen to the step-by-step conversation you had, how you grew up, how you went through life, how you got schooled, and so sometimes they come back to me, they have personal conversation on growth pattern, and each time they refer to you alongside other females that are doing well. So that's where I carry on.
Wow, that is absolutely spot on, Francis. I mean, it's so amazing to see how you are so intentional about this particular aspect that you're sharing. Even though we might have 1,001 questions to ask from you when it comes to your profession, but this is also an aspect that is very germane when it comes to our society at large, talking about the responsibility that men should take when it comes to raising their children, most importantly when it has to do with the female children. I want you to speak specifically on how you became intentional about this. I mean, there was a message I listened to some times ago. It was titled, "Where are the fathers?" And that speaks somehow to how we have a lot of absent fathers when it comes to raising kids. Most importantly, when it's about female kids, you push them to their mom, you push them to even the society at large. So that means the father is absent somewhere. I want you to speak to how you became intentional about this and how you were able to merge your profession, your busy schedules, and then raising your 4 daughters intentionally. Francis.
Thank you very much, Kunle. You see, it all started this way. You remember I told you, I happen to be the only male child in my home. I got particular interest in how the female folks grew up, how they do things. And now when I got married, I got 4 kids. And there was a time when I was in the financial institution. You know how financial institution in Africa is, Nigeria particular. You don't have time. You go in the morning, come back very late at night. But even at that, I've already grown the thought beyond that I want to see my children, especially that they are female, grow up to be what they ought to be and be guided properly to achieve it. I wouldn't forget to mention too that I had a wonderful mother, and I think I got a part of it from her because she always told me, "You are the man in the midst of all these women. Oh. You have to find a way and watch them grow well." That's my siblings, and of course, if I've done that for my siblings, I should do it better for my kids. And it's like it became a gift to me. Okay, if you can do this for your siblings, girls, oh, okay, have this girls for daughters. Go ahead and do what you know how to do well. So, sometimes I drive all the way. I drive all the way, drop them in school. If I try to program myself out of my official duties and make sure that I pick them and drop them back at home. Because as they were growing, I was trying to build a bond for them to understand how much I value their progress. I was trying to get the connection so that even from that level, from their little beginning till now, the 2 of them are in the university, the other 2 are coming up. Yeah, they're in college. They understand all the processes I've taken them through. And even at that point when I got too busy in the financial industry, I didn't allow it time to pass by without engaging them in actual productivity of life, especially when it has to do with the female gender. So they took everything I talked about seriously. So became much easier for me to act on now. So now I could just pick my phone and tell them, what are you doing today? They'll run their program for me and still ask me, is this okay? I said, okay, it's okay. Go ahead. And they have become very conversant with the fact that I create role model for them to emulate. So it's a plus for me. So that's how easy I'm able to pull through that.
That is so beautiful and refreshing to hear, Francis, because ultimately what you have done is prioritize your children. A lot of times, fathers prioritize sons, not daughters, but you have prioritized your children, period. And the fact that they're girls doesn't make any difference because they're still your children. And what you are teaching the world is just the same way we do customer service, treating every customer as if they're our only customer. You're raising your four daughters as if they each are your only child. And it doesn't matter their gender because they each have a purpose, right? So you're prioritizing them and allowing them to grow into their purpose. And they're growing up confidently. And they are going to make strong partners for good men because they're going to choose good men. Research shows that girls choose men who remind them of their fathers. So absent fathers raise daughters to go and find absent men. Abusive fathers raise daughters to go and find abusive men because they're looking for what they didn't get from another place. There's a whole mental health and psychological cycle going on here. So, what I am encouraged about is as a Nigerian man, you're able to stay in your masculinity and yet show up for your daughters, embracing your kindness and compassion and some of those feminine qualities daughters need to see in a man, because having compassion and kindness and love is not weak, it's actually a strength. Talk
Absolutely.
to us a little bit about how your guy friends and some of the traditional men look at this, and how do you navigate that mindset difference, because you're not reflecting traditional Nigerian father role model, right? But you are role modeling what is the best for your girls. There's a difference. You're breaking the traditional cycle. Talk to us about how that creates stress or friction for you in such a masculine society.
Thank you very much. You see, I tried so hard not to even go to that, but fine, you brought it. You see, in this part of the world, the gender stuff is real. We talk more about how we bring up the male kids, and they are supposed to stand there for you when you're no more. They are supposed to represent everything about the family. That's the belief. That's the tradition, especially in this part of the world. But some of us that I don't, sometimes some persons might feel that, oh, okay, because he's got female kids, all true. Probably that's why he has aligned things to be the way it is. No, from inception, my foundation, growing with female children, which are my siblings, taught me how to have preference for female children. My mother, a great gift to me, taught me how to make sure that things are okay with female kids. And now I have them as a gift. It looked like the universe just said, okay, since you know how to do this, do it. And now I'm doing it. For me, it's a plus. And I hear people a lot, they talk, even where I'm from, where their mother is from. They talk about, in fact, Kule should know about the Igbo tradition here. They don't joke with males. Their mother is Igbo. Me, I'm from Cross River. And they don't joke with having male as kids. That they want to tend everything going towards their direction, making sure that they are on top of taking care of the family. They feel they are stronger. That the female, no, I don't count all that. When they talk about it where I am, I try to educate people. The female gender, they are kids. When you take care of them, they'll do well and will do much more better than even the male folks. I support that with my whole heart. And you know what you believe in, it works absolutely well. So they argue a lot. People say, no, 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 don't do this. You know, this is mine. I do it the way I feel good about. And most of the female kids you see, you pay attention to them, they do exceptionally well. They come out and even take care of the brothers in the house. I've seen it. That's the way it is. So, truth about it is because I know the truth and how it works, I stand on where I stand. But even if I had male kids or female kids, it's the same way, the same thing that I'm doing now. That's what I would have done for them. So it's a gift to me that I even have them female. So I don't feel terrible about what they do in the society. It doesn't even bother me. When I talk about my daughters, I talk about them boldly. When I go to public space, even when they're talking about traditional thing, okay, aligning for the male folks, I talk about my daughters. I tell them how convenient it is to put your daughters in front, to push them, to give them the lift, to do what they ought to do. So I try to expose them a lot. I try to put everything in place to make sure that they be on the same leverage with the male counterpart. I think that's better. For me, what you believe in is fine. You go ahead. So, but I try to realign people's mind that don't think that because I've got female kids, oh, some people feel bad for having kids, just female kids. Some people have even the male kids, and the male kids come out with plenty issues, you know? So, but I think that basically how you bring them up matters, whether female or male. But I am gifted to have them as female. So that's it.
I am sure Kunle has this curiosity question just brewing there. Go ahead, Kunle.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kaz. I mean, listening to Francis, I really can relate with a lot of things he had said about a tradition. I mean, that is prevalent in Africa here when it comes to, female children. And they have that less attention in so many ways, and it becomes much more intense when you have them as much as he does in terms of in numbers. You know, I want you to speak to people who might be watching out there who are having, the similar situation, who might have been, having a lot of pressure from the society based on where we are from right now. There will be a pressure of, I mean, you have female children, you don't have male child. What is going to become of your legacy? That's how we say it's that deep, right, in Africa. And I want you to I want you to speak to people in that knowledge to really make them understand how important it is for us to look at the equality in terms of treating both males and females, and then creating um, that general springboard for them to grow, and not really creating that divides between any of our children. Talk to us, Francis.
Okay, thank you. Like we also know that times are changing, and we are having a lot of leverage for the girl child here in Africa, in Nigeria. And you hear them talk a lot about women empowerment. You understand what I'm saying, Kunle? It's not the way it used to be anymore. I also want to add that for those of them that are still measuring in that direction, it's purely high time. We give up the aspect of looking up to the male kids solely. The female kids are children. And I feel deep down in me, it's my belief that if we give much attention to the female kids like we do to the male kids, the society will be better. The world at large will be better. Because, the female kids are people that they they have a wider thinking to cover even the male kids, to even offer assistance, to be there. Because you see, I'm so excited about the this podcast because you see, male, we have issues. We have male children, female children that are being brought up in a way and manner that they feel okay, they feel nice about caring. You know, they don't experience all this nature of troubles. We find out that they'll be of great assistance to the men who have lesser men in difficulties. We have help a lot from men folks. Because you see people concentrating on the men folks, that they are everything, you train them. So there are some communities that don't even train female till now as we speak. In Africa, Nigeria precisely. They say the female, you have to stay back at home. Let the male folks go to school. Let them do what they ought to do. That they will come back and represent the family, you know, keep the family name. Some people still do it as we speak. I want to put it across to any person or group of people or community that are still doing that. They should change from it. If the female folks are given good leverage, stepping stones, training, academically, they show them love, same way that the male folks are done. Believe me, it's going to be a better place. Men won't die quickly. Men won't suffer all their suffering. And that's the truth. There's no argument about it.
Very true. And it's the mothers who raise the sons. There is plenty of research and historical proof that when the mothers are empowered, the family is lifted up because the husband also has a strong, reliable partner. It makes the entire unit stable and sets it up for thriving. So, what you're saying is such music to my ears, Francis. And I am so honored and feeling blessed that you reached out to me. You reached out to me to connect with me, and this is going to be a beautiful relationship we're going to build. We are going to look forward to meeting your daughters, and your daughters are going to make a huge impact in the way they show up. And they're all our children, right?
Yeah, sure.
Everybody's sons and daughters are our children. It doesn't matter where we come from. And when
Hmm.
we lift them up and we celebrate them and we make sure they're each set up for success, we can all retire happily, right? It doesn't matter where in the world we retire because
That's
it's
true.
about them, it's about our future. So, how can people get a hold of you, Francis, to get in touch with you, to learn about what you're doing, how you're doing, and also understand how you raise your children is an aspect of what you bring to work as customer service, right? Customer service is about caring and serving the people who are entrusted to you to serve. How is that
Absolutely.
any different from raising children? So I know people are going to want to talk to you. Your mindset is fascinating and much needed. So share with us how people can get a hold of you.
I'm on LinkedIn as Francis Effiong. You can reach me on WhatsApp +234 80 361 98314 +234 80 361 98314. Reach me on LinkedIn too as Francis Effiong.
Thank you so much, Francis. And I am going to turn it over to my esteemed co host here to bring this to a close with his nugget of wisdom. Go ahead, Kunle, all yours.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kaz. It is always a great pleasure whenever we are here because our guests are always amazing. And today is no exception to that, as Francis has really brought it up down to earth, simple and precise with every element of comprehension right in it, spot on all his thought line. And we are so glad to have him. Thanks to everyone who is watching. And then we just are glad to let you know we will be coming back to back with different guests who are going to lift you up and create that wonderful experience in building our society together to make the world a great place. That's our quota that we are contributing, and that's what the man space stands for. Join us some other time on the episode. Bye.